Rub says, Agony Bridge, I'm asking on behalf of a friend, so you're asking on behalf of yourself, is 12/13 years age gap a bad thing before going on a date? Mate, if you're in your early 20s, you're getting locked up.
But I definitely think that they're getting there. He's a really, really top-class coach, and, you know, these things sometimes do take a little bit of time to implement.
You can get results of all of today's FA Cup second-round ties and the Scottish third-round ties as well on the BBC Sport website. There's an awful lot to get through, but I can tell you that Barnsley against Bristol Rovers, having finished 0-0, has now gone to penalties. And Cambridge won, Wigan 2. Wigan have won that FA Cup tie after extra time. They are into the draw for the third round. Here in the Premier League at London Stadium, this is 5 Live at BBC South.
Emerson. Kilman. Courtney.
Shitting on Ben White either, by the way, but there is just something that's in McGill.
Pablo Fornals.
Turn and
this guy's, it's a
Lucas Paqueta.
To be whipped in. Look at the dark.
Beautiful scenes of glorious emotion. It's 1-0 after just
Given a corner. Can't get the better of his opposite.
Hamstring.
They've been designated to mark here.
They'll be trying to block them. That's what they'll be trying to do. They'll be trying to implement blocks and hope that they don't get to that near post area.
Here it comes, charge of the Light Brigades.
Not doing your homework. Like, how?
Por el cuerpo, Mikel Antonio le rebotó finalmente a él y va a haber valor en defensa para el Arsenal. Funcionó el laboratorio de la semana el equipo Mikel Arteta.
Then you have to receive.
Got every right to do.
Coming out, Griffin.
Physicality in this midfield. Saka's won that ball really well. Needs to release it though. Emerson
will always stay for all right, saying that
Down.
Offside tadi ya. Chip yang sangat bagus sebenarnya tadi ya oleh Oke, kenapa ini Trossard?
Oh, unlucky. Will Pep be sacked? No. He just signed a new deal. The worst thing that City could do now is sack a manager while they're in this rut. If anything, we should just enjoy it, guys.
To greet him, good strength from Jean-Claude Todibo, wins the ball back for West Ham, tries to head it up towards Antonio, but Arsenal so good at winning it back instantly, and West Ham are struggling to put 2, 3, 4 passes in a row together in this game. Arsenal come again. Declan Rice sprays it over to the right wing, controlled with a bit of ball juggling by Saka, bit of almost showboating about that, the way he took it down. Timber's gone on the overlap outside him, he gives it to the Dutchman. West Ham here been forced to play all 11 players inside their final third, Andy.
Yeah, they are. It's really difficult for them, to get any kind of a grip on this game. Arsenal look really comfortable in possession. We mentioned the overloads that they create in all different areas of the pitch, and West Ham are just dropping into kind of mid to low block at the moment. They're, as I said, really struggling to get their foot on the ball, really struggling to put any passes together, and Arsenal looking really, really comfortable. When they do get a few passes in, and it gives them an opportunity to organise their attack, it becomes very, very difficult to mark. They've got a really, really high width on both of the, on the top line with Saka and Trossard, and you've got Declan Rice taking up really clever positions. You've got Odegaard taking up really clever positions, and Havertz then occupies the centre backs. It becomes really difficult for any team to really get out and get any kind of grip.
Don't forget, you can hear an exclusive interview that Mark Chapman has had with the new Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim on the Football Daily podcast. You can listen on BBC Sounds. You can also watch that interview on the BBC iPlayer. As a cross from the right-hand side for Arsenal into the busy penalty areas, met by the head of Wan-Bissaka. West Ham are relieved to hear the whistle for a foul on Souček, and that is a free kick to West Ham just outside their own box. 20 minutes in, 1-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, I think it's probably time for kind of calm heads from West Ham. Other than the goal, Arsenal haven't had many chances. They've had quite a bit of possession, and they do look reasonably dangerous, but without having any clear-cut chances. So West Ham, I think, can afford to maybe be a little bit more patient, because they will get opportunities in this game, most likely on the counter-attack.
Antonio tries to barge his way through from the halfway line, but Saliba's able to whip it off him and play it back to David Raya, wearing a sort of lime greeny yellow away to our right hand side. He's long clearance of the Spaniard, falls for Havertz, groans from West Ham fans because they should have cleared it away there. This is Odegaard attacking the penalty area for Arsenal, gives it to Saka, shoots, and normally he scores from there. That one flashes wide. Big chance for Bukayo Saka to double Arsenal's lead.
Well, a player of his ability and the form that he's in, I fully expected the back of the net to burst there. He's just gone to feed it into that top corner, and he just didn't get quite enough whip on it. But you know, it's another kind of warning sign, I suppose. I never understand, and I know it's probably easier said than done, but the defenders need to get him outside on his right foot. As soon as you let him come inside on his left foot, you're asking for trouble.
Accrington are through to the FA Cup third round. They have beaten Swindon on penalties. Full list of all today's FA Cup and Scottish Cup results on the BBC Sport website. It's here at London Stadium under dark skies overhead. Jorginho plays out for the back for Arsenal. Timber infield to Saliba. Arsenal have looked really, really good, and their away form this season hasn't been great. I was looking back, Arsenal, this is quite incredible. Of all Premier League teams this season, in away games, they've had the fewest shots on target of all teams in away matches. But they look on it today.
It's an interesting stat. That it is an interesting stat. I do think though it's no coincidence that we're kind of seeing these type of performances and the one against Sporting the other night when they get all the players back. You know, there could be possibly a case for maybe Martinelli over Trossard or Partey over Jorginho as to which is their best 11. But it's not far off being their best 11 out there on the pitch. And when they get all the top players out on that pitch, then I think you look at, you see a different animal.
Listeners of BBC Sounds can rewind and play back the goal again. It came in the 10th minute. You won't want to rewind just yet, though, because Arsenal have got another corner. Declan Rice to take it from the left-hand side as they come forward. Saka took it from the right, the one they scored. But same routine, all the players huddled outside the 6-yard box, near the byline, far side of the pitch. It's played in by Rice. Bit deeper this time, bit too deep actually. Souček got an unnecessary touch of the back post. He didn't want to take any chances, and out it goes for a corner on the other side, and Saka presumably will take this one.
Yeah, so sometimes they do look for that back post area as well, Sometimes they start a little bit further and they don't make the run all the way across the front. They look to kind of cover that back post area, which is what they've done there. Miguel Antonio has a real tough job on his hands tonight. He's the one who has to mark Gabriel, and it's becoming really difficult. I was just looking at him there. There was a lot of grabbing. He was just trying to block him. He was just trying to make sure that he didn't get anywhere near that ball.
You might have heard a roar from the crowd there. They feel, the West Ham fans, that Arsenal are taking too long over this. It was like an American football little huddle, and they were having a chat about what plan they were going to do here. Interestingly, Saka was talking to Gabriel. This time Antonio has rugby tackled him as he tries to get some space. Flick on, header of the front post is saved on the goal line. Arsenal nearly scored from a corner again. West Ham hung on there by the skin of their teeth. It was a header of the front post, and there were too many bodies in the way. Here comes Jorginho for Arsenal, just outside the box, gives it short to Kai Havertz. Back into Jorginho again, back to the German again. Well, we mentioned the build-up to the goal, how Gabriel gave defenders the slip. Antonio was making sure that he couldn't do so there. He had his arms wrapped around him in a bear hug, really. And that's something they've got to be careful about. You don't want to give away a penalty.
Yeah, you do need to be careful of that. I think if it's kind of persistent and it goes on for a long period of time, and I think that's what the referee and that's what the VAR are looking for. So, it's a real fine balance between, you want to stop your man getting across, you want to stop him heading it, but if you hold on for too long, you're going to give away a penalty.
Bayangin deh, masa iya? Demi kota aku sampai rela nggak jajan?
Ya enggak lah, ngapain kompromi? Makanya pakai Trido pasti hemat. Isi ulang mulai dari Rp6.000.
Pakai Tri, nggak pakai kompromi.
There is a degree of regeneration required. Maddison. It's Son. And Maddison again. And Maddison doubles Tottenham's lead. What a birthday this is turning into for Tottenham's creator-in-chief. And if this was meant to be the turning point for Manchester City after their losing run, well, it's not looking that way right now.
For West Ham United now, but we don't really care about that, do we?
Trossard gets the cross in. Timber looks for the volley. Good block from Somerville. Thumped away by Paquetá to the halfway line. He's going to come straight back at West Ham. Arsenal lead by 2-0, and West Ham are not at the races. 28 minutes in at a wet London stadium, and the Gunners are putting West Ham to the sword for the second successive season on their own patch. 6-0 last season, 2 to the goods here, approaching the half hour. At this rate, it might be another sweet 6 again. Here is Odegaard breaking forward, right-hand side, tracked by Soler, brought down. That's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, it's one of those, you just want us to keep that foot down now and just heap more misery on West Ham and put them out of sight. That's the name of the game here. And what I like about Arsenal in terms of their body language is that they're 2-0 up, but there's not a single sign of them easing up. There's not a sign of them getting sloppy or lazy. There seems like a real steely determination to just keep at it, keep passing it, keep going forward. And yeah, there's a little free kick. Gabriel's involved again. He's gone under whisper with Martin Odegaard and Declan Rice. He's at the heart of the idea here, Gabriel Magalhaes.
Taken short to Saka on the right-hand side. Movement inside the area, low ball in. Paquetá will clear, only as far as Trossard aims it back for Gabriel, who does get his head on it. That wasn't planned. Here is Trossard again, though, looking to get the shot off. Todibo in the way, ricochets up, Mikel Antonio chases it down. Jorginho is there to just guide it back to David Raya.
Yeah, the delivery's got to be right, hasn't it, for any set piece to work. And on that occasion, it was a bit of a rarity with Saka's cross being not clearing the first man. But yeah, you're sort of penny for thoughts of the West Ham players at the moment. You know, they got spanked 6 last year in this fixture, 2-0 down early on. How much do they fancy it? You know, that's the question. That's why we have to make sure we don't let them out of jail here.
Fabianski, left-footed, punts it long to the halfway line. Mikel Antonio does well against Saliba, controls, looks to move away from the French defender and was held back. That's a free kick.
Yeah, no, it's good centre-forward play. Really good centre-forward play. He's excellent at that, Mikel Antonio. He's still got, you know, something in his locker. He outmuscled Saliba. It's not often we see that. But good to see Anthony Taylor not go over the top and book him.
West Ham have possession. Somerville injects a bit of pace into the attack, but the layoff is poor. It's straight to Declan Rice. Rice short for Saka. Saka inside his own half looks to scoop it forward for Rice, but Emerson's in the way, and the ball goes out for a free kick here for a throw-in rather to Arsenal over on the far side, midway inside their own half. Just what Arsenal needed, really. Straightforward performance. Just keep the foot down.
Exactly. A couple more numbers. 23 final third entries for us, 4 for West Ham. 12 touches in the box for us, none for West Ham. But there was for the disallowed goal, but it doesn't count.
Saka against Emerson, right-hand side, inside the penalty area, still going. Great run from Saka, brought down penalty. West Ham can't believe it. Saka caught. Another opportunity for Arsenal to score. You don't get the assist for winning the penalty. but I hope he's okay to take it himself.
Yes, it was a great run. He skips past Emerson. It's brilliant. Then he goes past Paquetá and he sticks his leg out. It's a pen. There's no complaint from the Hammers man.
He doesn't get the ball.
Yeah, he doesn't get the ball.
Catches the top of Bukayo's foot.
Yeah, trips him, and this is nailed on. Nailed on pen. Is Bukayo okay to take it? That's the question here.
Well, this is a first Premier League penalty for Arsenal this season.
We're obviously waiting on a check here, are we?
I guess so.
It's not a clear and obvious error, is there?
Of course, Bukayo Saka did score from the spot in midweek.
It's never ideal when you get these long pauses, especially when the ball's in hand and you're about to take it.
I've seen Trossard miss from the spot.
He's given it to Martin Odegaard.
But Martin Odegaard is going to take one. So, baton passed. Responsibility for the skipper. The Gunners looking for a third here against West Ham inside the opening 34 minutes at the London Stadium. Odegaard finds the corner, perfectly placed. Not necessarily the power, but certainly a precision strike from the Arsenal captain. Fabianski guessed the right way, but even his large frame couldn't get down quickly enough to turn it behind. And Arsenal are running away with this once again. Well, Westfield's still open. Maybe there's some bargains to be had. Will we see West Ham fans start to filter out early for the second successive season?
It's a great pen. It is right in the bottom corner. Little stutter in the run-up. Left foot goes to the keeper's left. It's right in the side netting. It skids along the floor. Uses the wet surface to his advantage. 35 minutes in, 3-0 up. It's a cruise, isn't it, for the Gunners? Absolute cruise. Love to see it.
Arsenal lead by 3-0 at West Ham. Martin Odegaard grabs his first Premier League goal of the campaign, first since scoring against Wolves late last season.
I think that's a bit of payback there from Saka. You know, he's been given penalties before by Martin, and you know we've seen Kai Havertz given one to get off the mark.
Well, speaking of Havertz, he might be in here all alone. Havertz! Oh my word! This is getting better and better for Arsenal, and those West Ham fans may well be heading out of the London Stadium. Poor defensive work at the back. Havertz kept his concentration to gallop forward. Onside, a mistake punished yet again. It is West Ham 0, Arsenal 4. I doubted whether we could see a repeat of what we saw last season. Now it's on and more.
It's on. Embarrassing from West Ham, but ecstasy for Arsenal. It's just one long pass from Trossard over the centre half. I mean, that is shocking from Max Kilman. It's over his head, and he makes an attempt to slide to intercept it, but he's never getting there. It's pathetic defending, and then 1v1 Havertz never looked like missing, just clipped it left-footed, bottom corner. Great assist from Trossard, but I mean it's the kind of route really that gets the manager the sack, doesn't it? And Lopetegui sat up in the director's box tonight, already under pressure. That eased, of course, with the win at Newcastle, but he is under pressure. And his players are being annihilated here.
Calafiori nods forward. Wan-Bissaka lets it run through to Todibo. We have still got 8.5 minutes remaining of this first half plus added on time. Arsenal lead by 4-0. The Gunners' goal difference leaps to +13. 3 behind Liverpool, just to add that in. And the Gunners heading for second spot in the Premier League table ahead of that big game at Anfield tomorrow between Liverpool and Manchester City.
Statement, isn't it? I think in Europe we sent a message that we're contenders with that win against Sporting, and here we're just sending the message to Liverpool and to Manchester City that, look, we're the real deal. Don't forget about us. I'm biased, of course I am, but I think we're the best team in the league.
Bowen's shot blocked by Calafiori. Here is Emerson to curl in. Trossard to volley away with authority. And now it's come back out to Kilman, who, you know, I thought he was a good signing from Wolves. He looked good. He's a good footballer, isn't he? But that was a horror show. Meanwhile, Wan-Bissaka might be in here. And West Ham have got one back. It was a ball threaded through for the full-back that raced free inside the penalty area. And a definitive finish from the former Manchester United and Crystal Palace full-back, as Arsenal were just left a little flat-footed.
Yeah, he runs off of Trossard, doesn't he? It's a really good run from Wan-Bissaka, who never scores. Now he's got 2 in 2. It's a really great through ball, actually. So it's Soler that makes it. Brilliant pass from Soler. In between, he threads it between 2 or 3 players. And Wan-Bissaka just gets the run on Trossard. And it's a bit sloppy from the Belgian and West Ham finish. Puts a slightly different twist on it, I guess, with West Ham scoring. Gives them something to cling on to.
And here they come again. Paquetá takes the shot and it's blocked. Mikel Antonio runs into Ødegaard. And then Rice says he got the ball, but the referee says he doesn't. Paquetá down, free kick West Ham, just outside the penalty area.
He did get the ball, didn't he, Declan Rice? Definitely got the ball. Let's have another look at this. I mean, it's a good tackle, isn't it? I can't see a foul there, I'm sorry. Anthony Taylor's standing 1 yard away. It's not a foul. That's not a foul. But look, it's a free kick to West Ham in a good area, and wow, how quickly things can change. I mean, 4-1 is still a very healthy advantage, but you score here, and, you know, might get interesting.
Well, I've got Sporting vibes to a certain extent. I know their comeback, mini comeback, minor comeback came in the second half, but it was quickly snuffed out by Arsenal. Let's see what happens here. Arsenal have got a free kick to defend. Emerson, we know, is good from these situations. So they're also standing over it. Just to the right of centre. Perfect for a left footer, but a right-footed shot might be coming as well. Ødegaard is the draft excluder. 23 yards out maybe here. Let's see what West Ham can do. Emerson or Carlos Soler. Who's it going to be? It is Emerson. Good hit! Fine goal! West Ham have got 2. Well. West Ham were in the doldrums. Now they've doubled their tally, and the deficit is just the 2 as the bubbles blow. Arsenal just need to settle and refocus.
They do, yeah. It was a brilliant free kick. Absolutely superb. Left-footed, over the wall. It kisses the crossbar. I don't think you can say that the keeper's done anything wrong there. He maybe starts a little bit too far to the right, but I don't think he's getting there because it hits the top, it hits the underside of the bar. It's hard for a keeper to stop that. But it's a superb free kick. I don't think it was a foul on the edge of the box. I think that they were lucky to get that call, but wow, how quickly the mood changes, and Lopetegui will be sort of feeling a bit better. You know, his job security might not be quite so precarious. But look, it's a test for us. We've just got to regroup now, haven't we, and ride this storm. It's all part of the learning curve.
Absolutely. One thing I would say, look, the crowd are up, obviously, and the West Ham players are herring around, and they've got a little bit more energy and a little bit more fight. And Emerson should be booked for this. He's gone in on timber, and Saka's not happy, and Paquetá's involved, and so is Souček. The yellow card is in the hand of Anthony Taylor. Saka's got a yellow card, which I guess he has to for the shove. But that was all down to Emerson kicking an Arsenal player on the deck.
Yeah, it was naughty. Really naughty. And Saka's just sticking up for his teammate there. What's Emerson doing? So he fouls Timber, and then he basically just takes a little nibble at him, and Saka's not having it. All he does is give him a little shove. He doesn't really connect with him. I mean, it's a bit harsh on Saka, but Emerson absolutely deserves the yellow.
Yeah, look, I think Saka's got to get a yellow. I don't really agree with it, but it is the rules.
And just makes it something it wasn't probably.
Saka's been booked as well, by the way, in that. So Emerson and Saka both in the book. Wow, got to catch your breath, Paul. I mean, you were lost for words earlier, but now.
But all West Ham have done here is put a bit more energy and effort in. I don't think they're playing any better. No. It's literally running a bit harder, getting in the faces of Arsenal. Look, it's a tactic, we know, but this is not West Ham suddenly turning into a better football team. Arsenal are in control.
Yeah,
and Arsenal just conceded to, and he might sound a daft thing to say.
You just got to keep calm here and see it out, and then look, it might just rev us up to
Emerson's done his team no favours. We've had no football for a minute now.
Yeah, exactly. And look, the lads now, rather than taking their foot off it, might just really put their foot down and look to bury West Ham in the second half. So, yeah, I'm not overly worried at this stage. If West Ham were to get a third, that would be frustrating and a bit nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie. But, you know, based on what we saw, they were never going to score, West Ham, were they? So credit to them. They picked their chins up off the deck and they've responded.
Well, 2 minutes to go in this first half. There'll be a couple of minutes of added on time naturally. But West Ham have got a foothold in the fixture. 6 goals in the first half. Incredible scoreline from East London. Didn't really expect Arsenal to score 4 or West Ham to score 2, but here we are. That game, of course, back in early March, saw Arsenal score 5 in the first half and just add 1 in the second period, but it's more stop-start all of a sudden, and Havertz has gone down. Don't mind this.
No, but yeah, the West Ham are revved up, aren't they? All of a sudden they want to have a little bit of a battle and a scrap. Yeah, Havertz gone down. It's quite soft. I'm not really sure what's happened there.
Here is Fabianski. Long punt forward, looking for Antonio to flick it on. He does get there first, but it bounces through for David Raya. And we'll just slow things down here. Look, Newcastle have done the right thing. Raya will take his time. And he will look to punt it long under pressure from Bowen.
He's got a lot longer this season, David Raya, hasn't he? You know, he used to play it really short, but you know, he's really confident with those long passes now. I think it's a foul on Timber.
Somerville is going to go into the book, the caution count. It's a poor challenge from Somerville, lazy, nowhere near the ball.
Not great.
So, free kick for Arsenal. We've got 5 minutes of added on time. There was nowhere near that up until the last 10 minutes of the half, when suddenly we had 1 or 2 fractious moments. And let's face it, we've had 6 restarts as well. That takes a little bit of time, doesn't it?
Right.
Free kick. Rice belts inside the area. Havertz with a header. Better defensive work from Kilman on that occasion. Arsenal corner.
Oh, it was a good ball in, wasn't it? Lots of whip on that. And Havertz was there. He was exactly where he wanted to be. Got a good contact on the header himself. But Kilman's touch tight. It just knocks off of him and goes behind for a corner.
Gabriel moves towards the 6-yard box. West Ham players glance at the Brazilian, looking at each other, say, well, you pick him up.
Corner number 7 for us in this first half.
Saka to curl from the right-hand side, in swinger, a lot of movement inside the area. Gabriel's got free again. Here he goes, and the header goes over.
Has
and
he
was
cleaned out there
by Fabianski. Now, That was a poor challenge from the keeper, who catches the Brazilian. And what's the referee giving here?
I think he's going to give it.
Is he going to give a penalty?
There's a chance.
I think he's caught him here, hasn't he?
Well, someone's caught him, and I think it's the goalkeeper. It's a yellow card for Fabianski.
It's a penalty, surely.
Got to be a penalty.
Well, there was a melee around Gabriel. We were looking at the Brazilian.
Let's have a look at this.
He gets there ahead
He
of
escapes
Fabianski.
again, and
he's been punched by Fabianski. Now it's a punch in an attempt to clear the ball, but he's nearly taken his head off.
He's hit him on the side of the head, on the temple there. It's almost a knockout punch. Yeah, it has to be a pen. It has to be. You don't give someone a yellow card and then not give the foul, do you? So opportunity here to get 5.5 against West Ham United.
Again.
Yep.
Well, we were looking at Gabriel as he was caught by Fabianski, and he went down clutching his face. The yellow card has come out to the former Arsenal stopper. We understand that it is a penalty. Martin Odegaard has wrestled the ball from Fabianski. The West Ham players are still hands on hips, questioning the decision.
Looks a bit groggy, doesn't he? He does look a bit groggy.
Oh,
I hope he's not concussed here, Gabriel. Obviously, Manchester United on the horizon. Absolutely don't want him missing that game. But if you're concussed, you're concussed. Hopefully that's not the case. Can confirm it's a penalty.
Well, Martin Odegaard has got the ball in his hands, but he's going to give it to Bukayo Saka. Now, a couple of seasons ago, of course, Saka did miss a penalty here. But Arsenal's number 7, who's weighed in with a couple of assists in this fixture, is taking the responsibility from 12 yards to put Arsenal 5-2 up on the stroke of half-time in East London. Second spot kick for Arsenal. Saka, same result, different corner. Fabianski got his fingertips to it, but not enough to keep it out. It is West Ham 2, Arsenal 5. The Gunners have got a 3-goal cushion once more. Fabianski with the punch on Gabriel, conceding the penalty. Correct decision. The pole in the book, Saka on the score sheet, Arsenal 5-2 up.
What a crazy first half. Not the best pen, if we're honest. He's gone the other side. He's gone to the keeper's right here, and Fabianski gets a good hand on it. Not the best struck pen from Saka, but it's still got too much for the keeper to handle. Seen a replay of the punch on Gabriel. I mean, it's a glancing blow, but it's on the sort of temple, isn't it? It's a definite foul. And I'm glad that a referee's finally given a penalty for that incident, because we didn't get it, of course, in Milan, when we absolutely should have done. And finally, a ref has been bold enough to give that. And wow, 5 again here in the first half. Quite remarkable.
West Ham coming forwards. Do they win a free kick here? They do. Well, we have had nearly 6 minutes of added on time. The board went up for 5. Obviously, we've had a penalty and a goal, so we're going to get a little bit more in terms of minutes played in this first half as it stretches out to the 52nd minute.
It's a bit further out, this particular free kick.
It's not a free kick.
Just flings himself.
He's tried to flick it and he's lost balance.
He flings himself to the floor. I mean, he's won both those free kicks, and neither of them are free kicks, in my opinion. But look, it's central. It's a bit further out, but it's certainly within shooting range here. And David Raya will be feeling a bit anxious about this. Emerson has proven he's got quality. Can't do it again, can he?
Well, surely he's going to fancy his chances. We switched penalty taker. Will West Ham switch free kick taker? Carlos Soler also standing over this one. It's very central, but it is some distance out here, isn't it? 25 yards, 26 yards. Who's it going to be? Emerson has scored 1 free kick. He's going to have another go. It's a good hit. He skims the top of the crossbar, mate.
Good effort.
Does David Raya get something on that? He might have done.
He does. I think he does. It's a really good save. It's a feather touch. He's given the corner.
Well, 7 minutes have added on time at the end of this first half. And a corner from the right-hand side. Emerson will take it. In swing up, cleared away by Gabriel. And the referee decides that that is the end of a wild first half under the lights at the London Stadium at West Ham. Arsenal racing to a 4-goal lead. Gabriel with a header from Saka's corner. Trossard from close range after great work from Odegaard, then Saka. Odegaard from the spot after Saka was taken down. Havertz, after some awful defending from West Ham, made it 4. And we thought that was that. But West Ham thought otherwise. Wan-Bissaka with a cool lead at West Ham. Arsenal racing to a 4-goal lead. Gabriel with a header from Saka's corner. Trossard from close range after great work from Odegaard, then Saka. Odegaard from the spot after Saka was taken down. Havertz, after some awful defending from West Ham, made it 4. And we thought that was that. But West Ham thought otherwise. Wan-Bissaka with a cool lead.
Very accomplished. Our corner kicks are just so menacing. Can we go on and get a 7 or an 8 here? That's the challenge now. We've done 6, right? Let's get a 7 or 8. That would be an incredible statement. And it wouldn't surprise me if Mikel Arteta, especially given the nature of some of those challenges towards the end of the half, is saying just the same to the players right now.
Going to be a fascinating second half. Stay with us. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with some facts and stats and analysis ahead of that second half. But for now, we've got access all areas and the game against Sporting from midweek. Enjoy this. We'll be back in about 8-9 minutes.
The famous one.
See, the #1 football player in the world wasn't enough. He's got to start making videos. Oh, this is looking good for me.
It will be fun.
He's trying to make me feel good. This guy likes to build suspense.
If in 3 balls I don't touch one, you win the game.
Really? All right, so if I hit this.
Let's go. Oh, last one.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Welcome to Riyadh. Welcome to Al Awal Park Stadium. Here, Cristiano Ronaldo is going to face Mr. Beast. What are they going to do together? We're about to find out.
Well, that was a brilliant night in Lisbon.
See, the #1 football player in the world wasn't enough. He's got to start making videos.
It's a real statement win against a
How
sporting
you doing?
side that have been excellent over the last 8 months. Manchester City, of course, in the Champions League. They've lost their manager, but the players are still the same.
The best
Pretty
football player in
much
the world
what
wasn't
one or two
enough. You got to start making
in
videos,
midweek, but
stealing my
no
world
one
records.
expected Arsenal to go sporting to the sword as they did.
Well, you already
And
took
I
a
don't think
couple
anyone
of mine.
really expected Arsenal to put West Ham to the sword in the manner that they did in the first half here. Very similar. So
They just let you have it, whatever. I guess when you're Ronaldo.
Yeah, no problem.
A little bit
So
more
let's
fight
go.
than
We
they did
have a. I have a.
in
I know
March
you
of
have
this
a challenge for
calendar
me.
year.
Okay.
And
But
at
also I have a
4-2,
challenge for you.
maybe
I think
one
I
or two
can
were
piece it
thinking,
together.
crikey, this can't
I think
happen to
we'll
Arsenal. I don't think it will do. 5-2 at this stage.
Oh, I
and
see
the
a
Gunners
cardboard cutout of me.
hopefully will take a little bit
First of
more
all, I will
control
give you
into the
a
second
shirt.
half. But brilliant
Put your
watch
shirt.
and fantastic for us to commentate on as well. It's always great
Oh,
when the
wow,
goals are
it's
going
got
in left,
Mr. Beast
right,
on
and
the back.
centre,
Yes.
AD.
Thank you.
And we're picking out 1 or 2 things here ahead of the
appreciate
second
it.
half
And we
getting
will do it the challenge,
underway.
and after we'll
We've
do
got
your
XG
challenge.
map
Okay.
first
In this
of
moment,
all.
Mr. Beast is finding out that Cristiano has something
I'll
ready
give
for
you the
him.
numbers.
All right.
First of
So I
all,
say-
in
I say
terms
to
of
the-
expected
to
goals
your-
in that
your
first
friends.
half.
Yeah.
That's when I start to.
We're 3
to do
points.
it, YouTube channel.
Try and get this. Now, well, first of all,
My kids
this is
didn't believe.
to the left
Oh,
of,
really?
They
of
always
the
speak
halfway
about
line
you.
is our
And
chances.
I say to
The bigger
them,
the circle,
because
the
it was
better
my
quality
first time
chance.
in
So
this world.
Yeah.
we absolutely
And,
deserve
they didn't
the
believe
lead that
and
we've
they
got
say,
at the
"Daddy,
moment.
Mr. Beast is better than
It's
you."
it's
my
been
gosh,
completely
really?
told me that. This
dominant
is why
from an
I-
Arsenal point of view. The expected
after
goals
the-
numbers are
after the
0.72 for West Ham.
Yeah, let's FaceTime him. I would love to.
3.45 for Arsenal, which is massive. If you had that over 90 minutes, it is pretty huge. So we have the
that's so
potential
funny that your
to maybe
kids
set
figure
some
that about
kind of
me.
record
Yes,
here
yes.
Oh
this
my God.
afternoon with
Well,
a +5, +6
I
start there.
XG
Okay. So I
over the
assume-
course of 90
Okay,
minutes.
yeah,
That would be
what are we doing
some
here?
achievement. By the way,
Because
in
my-
terms of just shots, 10 shots from us.
For this video, I'll call it
5
football.
for West Ham.
What I think is impressive about those
Which
numbers
is
is
the
that he was
challenge
pointing
is
out the bigger the circle, the
shoot,
better the
to try to
opportunity.
shoot.
If you look back at the Sporting
Kick
game,
yourself.
very, very
so we're
similar.
trying to
With the difference-
Arsenal are creating
different-
quality
Let's
chances
explain this challenge.
very
Mr. Beast and
frequently.
Cristiano will need
Sometimes
to hit
you'll
the
get
cardboard
teams win
cutout
3,
from
4,
5
5
different
nil.
distances.
XG can
2
be as low
meters,
as 1.5,
9.5 meters, that is the
1.6.
penalty
You know,
spot,
shots
50
from outside
meters,
the
30
area
meters,
don't
and
carry
50
that
meters
big
from
XG,
midfield. Each
but
distance
Arsenal
has a different
clustering
score.
their
1, 2,
XG
3,
right
5, and
inside
7
the 6
points
yard
for the
box.
most
And obviously the
difficult. To help
penalty
them
was
out,
in
we will increase the
0.76
number of
these days at the
cardboard
moment.
cutouts
3
as they're
inside
shooting from further
the
away.
6 yard
Good
box,
luck to
obviously
both
2
of them.
penalties,
They're going
but
to
only
enjoy.
one
Well, here.
effort from outside the box. We're also
I think you
You're
can.
left or right?
our decision
right.
making inside
I'm
the final third is
horrible at
getting
football,
better
Yeah?
and better. So yeah, look,
Will
West
Mr.
Ham.
Beast fall into
You see how
Cristiano's
small
trap?
that yellow
Sorry,
circle
did I
is from
say
Emerson's
trap? I
free
meant
kick.
challenge.
Fair play to him.
For
That
sure
was a
this is
terrific
not a
effort.
trap.
Yeah, that's
Seriously,
the
this is a
XG
challenge.
map.
Here, you
And we
want to
can
do it
also
first?
take a look
So I assume one for you,
Some
one for me.
assists, the assists
want,
and
yes.
key
Yeah.
passes that we made in
But I
the
want you to shoot
first
first.
half.
Me?
Yes.
Obviously,
From
you
here,
see
we
the
have
one from
to-
the corner there, Bukayo.
Oh, you want
Saka,
warm
we
up
got
first.
Declan Rice at the top of the screen. That was a free kick.
The challenge
for
begins.
Kai
The
Havertz.
players are getting ready.
19,
Mr. Beast
Leandro
faces the
Trossard
goal.
inside his own half.
The
This is
stands
for
are
people who
roaring.
haven't been able
Goal for
to watch
Mr.
the
Beast.
first half
Oh, no.
along with
Today
our
it's not about
commentary.
that, Jimmy.
That's the
You
long
need to hit the
pass
cardboard
that
cutout.
completely befuddles Max Kilman.
Sorry,
Havertz
yeah.
runs on and
Cristiano
scores.
with the ball. Cristiano
Trossard
shoots.
set up the goal there.
This cardboard is
The
untouchable.
Odegaard one. The
No, I don't
Saka
feel
one
so
inside
bad.
the 6 yard box rather. That's
Hey,
where he
now
did
you
the
can't make
1-2.
fun
He
of
got
me. He
himself into the
also
6 yard box, squares it
know?
for Leandro
Let's do it again.
Trossard.
Sometimes
So
even
look,
the
it's
goats-
been
I told you.
terrific.
What are the
first half
odds him
performance
missing
that
makes the cut?
we put
Well,
forward
I
our
bet
Sporting.
he's going to make like this
we've
one looked like
scored
the first one.
5 within 45 minutes against West Ham United. I think it's safe to say that
Now we
our
really
attack
start
is
this
clicking.
challenge.
Well, West Ham
Mr. Beast
versus
hits the
Arsenal in the fourth Premier League game to see 7
Wait a
goals
second.
in the
Did
first
he
half
touch it?
alone.
Are
After
we giving
Blackburn
Mr. Beast
leads
0.5
in
points?
September 97.
I'm not really sure.
Bradford
I
Derby,
need to
remember
spot.
that one, April 2000, and Reading Manchester United in December 2022. And Arsenal become the first team to score 60 away
He turned off
goals
a piece of the leg,
against a
but the
single
cardboard didn't even
opponent in Premier League history. 6, of course, last
Can't touch
season.
it.
5 so
It's
far.
Cristiano's
Who
turn.
knows what
He's
we're
alone
gonna
against
get in the
Mr.
second
Beast.
half. We all know that
Cristiano
halves
hits
of
it.
football
Point for Cristiano.
rarely exactly the same. And as the half wears on, Arsenal will want to take a little bit more control. I would have thought it's not going to be as chaotic and as wild as the first half. I say chaotic, I'm probably over-egging that just because there were 7 goals for a large part. Arsenal in control. We are going to see a change ahead of this second half, incidentally. Jakob Kivior has been warming up over the course of this half-time break, and he's just come out of the tunnel at the London Stadium here, and he is going to replace Gabriel, who got that whack, didn't he?
He got the whack on the head. Now, I just really hope he's not concussed, because if he is, then it puts him in doubt for the Manchester United game. So, look, it is what it is. If he is concussed, he can't, you know, you wouldn't want him to play against Manchester United. I just hope that's precautionary, and he's got a bit of a headache, and they're just thinking, you know what, let's just change it. West Ham making a change too.
Yeah, they are. Alteration as Edson Alvarez comes on. He's been serving a ban recently, but he will come on, I presume, in midfield. And just working out who has not come out. Maybe looking to bolster that midfield area, of taking off an attacker, and potentially it is Somerville, the player that has been taken off now. He looked a little bit lightweight in the first half, and obviously with the change that Lopetegui's made, that West Ham have made, that just bolster that midfield a little bit, doesn't it? They will perhaps be a little harder to play against.
It might be like a narrow 4-4-2, like a box midfield, like a diamond, 4-4-2 diamond, I would expect, with Bowen and Antonio up top, and more solidity in midfield, where Arsenal have been absolutely rampant, of course. You know, just popping the ball around and playing through. West Ham with real ease. So a shape change, I think, from West Ham, and probably a sensible one, given the circumstances.
Underway then for the second half at the London Stadium. Stay with us on Live from M5 here. We'll have all of the commentary for you from this second half, as Arsenal look to try and post a number that they've never done in the Premier League. It is very much on if Arsenal keep the foot to the floor, which we always want. We don't always see, but given West Ham's mini fight back, Mikel Arteta, as Adi said just ahead of the break, he will want his team to keep their foot to the floor. Mindful of the games coming up, we know it's very, very busy as we jump into December. Manchester United at home will be the 500th game at the Emirates. Is going to be some night in midweek. Hopefully you can join us for that. We'll have the full pre-match show for you as well for that game. But games come thick and fast at home and abroad, of course. We're back in Champions League action against Monaco the midweek after the one coming up. So there is no let-up, and Mikel Arteta will be looking to manage his squad from here on in. But look, let's hope we see a few more as Fabianski comes outside of his penalty area to clear, and Arsenal have a throw-in deep inside their own half on the right-hand side, which Jurriën Timber comes across to take. Yeah, no, exactly. You've got to get the balance right here, Arsenal, and see the job through and hopefully get ourselves another couple of goals. But I would anticipate changes being made. Kivior coming on, he's come on at centre-half, so Calafiori's stayed at left-back. I think that's the right way to approach things. It'll be interesting to see how Arsenal look to bypass this really packed West Ham engine room now. Here is Havertz, just inside the Arsenal half, plays it to the left-hand side in Calafiori. The Italian plays it back for the German. Rice looks to make a run. He's blocked off by Souček. Here is Calafiori once more to the halfway line, and Jorginho, who will take a touch and play it back towards Saliba. Saliba up against Mikel Antonio, decides to roll it back here for David Raya, and the Spaniard will punt it long. Right-footed to the left-hand side, trying to get Trossard in behind Wan-Bissaka. Trossard watches the ball well, cuts back inside of Wan-Bissaka, controls and then finds Rice, who comes forward into the final third, pushes it forward for Trossard. Calafiori's made her on. Trossard curls inside the area, cleared away by Todibo, and then Souček looking to try and find Paquetá, but Arsenal have it with Rice. Paquetá wins it back, then gives it away straight for Trossard. Rice again, away from the Brazilian. Here's Trossard, clever ball for Odegaard, space to work with, 35 yards out, right-hand side. Saka inside the penalty area, on his right, then his left, then his right, looks to get the cross in. Good block from Emerson, Arsenal corner.
Yeah, good switch of play from Arsenal there. They were sort of boxed in over that far side, then within a couple of passes, thanks to Odegaard, the ball's fizzed out to Saka for the 1v1. That's the way to get him isolated in those kind of situations. So, good play from Arsenal as Odegaard comes over to Saka to let out, just whisper the plan. Can Kivior deputise for Gabriel and get himself a goal here, I wonder?
Yeah, different type of threat with Jakob Kivior, but there's still Calafiori and Saliba and Timber inside the area as Saka curls towards the near post, and it was Calafiori that came across to look to glance in, but just got a bit too much on that, and it flies behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, he got across his marker really, really well. He started on the penalty spot. He just nips in, head of Paquetá at the near post, but it's a really difficult angle, and yeah, it doesn't even hit the side netting, the header from Calafiori.
Scorer of that wonderful goal up at Manchester City, of course. Focus up in the northwest tomorrow as Liverpool take on Manchester City. City, this horrid run that they're on at the moment. Liverpool going great guns, as we know. Premier League favourites as it stands after their excellent start under Arne Slot. But Arsenal, you know, will be at the business end of this season, working hard to try and win the title for the first time since the 03-04 campaign. Got a great chance this term, as we did last term and the one before that. But Arsenal maturing with every passing campaign. Here is Jurrien Timber. Back for Odegaard. What's happened here? We've got the ball on. What happened?
Yeah, 2 balls on the pitch. I don't know what happened there. That's very bizarre. Just thinking about the system. If they've got that narrow box for midfield, West Ham now, it kind of means that the space is out wide, so the fullbacks will have a bigger role to play. So it's all about getting it to Saka, getting it wide to Trossard, and then supporting them with 2v1s, because someone from central midfield will have to come out wide and help out. So they, you know, I can see why West Ham have done it, but it will open up other weaknesses for them.
Long towards Saka. Can he get him behind Emerson here? Been a good duel between the two. Saka's got the better of the Brazilian-born Italian on a number of occasions. Here is Havertz. Back towards Saka, right-hand side. Jurrien Timber calling for it. Odegaard wants it, but Carlos Soler is there to win it back, and then the flag goes up. Referee eventually spots it. Well, I'm not quite sure about that. I thought the West Ham player had a touch on that.
Yeah, frustrating. But yeah, I do expect Timber to get forward like he did there in the second half. Yeah, it's pretty flat at the moment, as you might imagine, inside the stadium. A lot of West Ham fans have gone over to Westfield to get some early Christmas shopping done, but not as many as last year. I think that brace of goals has kept plenty here.
Ball is out of play, and Jurrien Timber's down at the moment.
Always
Need another defender injured. What part of the body has he knocked? Anthony Taylor says the physio can come on. Just looking at the punch from Fabianski on Gabriel on our monitors again. Don't know what Souček was suggesting.
Trying to claim that he hadn't been punched was pretty hilarious from Thomas Souček. But yeah, look, you just hope that punch in the face from Fabianski on Gabriel isn't going to keep him out of the United game. That's the concern at the moment.
Bowen caught, free kick. Saliba, the perpetrator, won't be a card, shouldn't be. But it's going to be a free kick here as Bowen vigorously rubs the ankle, suggesting that it maybe should be a caution. What do we think here? Did catch him, maybe.
Did, yeah. If they'd have given a yellow there, I wouldn't have argued. There's a couple of fouls he's made today, actually, Saliba, so he's got to be careful. I think he's one foul away from going into the book.
Bowen with a strike over the crossbar, got hold of it. but couldn't keep it down. It was from 22, 23 yards out.
Yeah, he stepped up, hasn't he? I mean, he hasn't scored the goals this season, Jared Bowen. Only 3 in the Premier League. But I think being captain has given him a bit more responsibility, and you see him, you know, working a bit harder off the ball. He regains possession an awful lot for this team. And look, he's their hope here of getting back into the game. That shot there, always rising, never really threatened David Raya.
Yeah, 16 in the Premier League last season, only 3 as Eddie was pointing out this season. Scored 1 in the League Cup. Scored for England, of course. Didn't he get his first England goal against Ireland? His 14th appearance for the national side. But yes, responsibility with the captain's armband these days. Here is Odegaard. Now it's with Havertz. Right-hand side, Arsenal coming forward. Havertz to drill it inside the penalty area. Souček will clear. Taken high on the chest by Paquetá, who will knock it to the halfway line, but Saliba volleys it back for David Raya, and then Raya gets way too much on that as he knocks it forward, and he bounces once into the arms of Fabianski.
He just lashed it there, didn't he? It was almost like he was shooting, David Raya, but goes straight through to Fabianski. That number touches in the opposition box. West Ham 2, Arsenal 20. It's you know, stark difference really between the two sides.
Todibo is on loan from Nice, of course. Spell up Barcelona and re-established himself in French football. Paquetá came from Liga. Now it's with Mikel Antonio to turn and shoots, and it's just wide. Took a deflection somewhere along the line. Corner.
That's good play. Really good play from Antonio on the edge of the box. Paquetá gets it, he travels, and he just backs into Kivior and then swivels, shoots, and it takes a little nick off of Kivior and out for a corner. Yeah, he's very strong. He's a muscular centre forward, isn't he, Antonio?
In comes the delivery, cleared away by Saliba. It'll fall for Wan-Bissaka. He's coming forward again. Now it's with Emerson to the edge of the area. Antonio to curl towards the back post. Souček will win the header. Nearly falls for Kilman. Should be cleared by Trossard, or at least he will get there. Then shoved over by Paquetá. Free kick.
One of the most blatant shoves you'll ever see. Definite foul. Good play from Trossard. It's good defending as well, actually, from Calafiori on the inside there, because Thomas Souček is a threat. We know he's brilliant in the air, and we've got to pick up those second balls. Oh, and Calafiori, I think.
Yeah, Calafiori off. Yeah, Zinchenko coming. Well, we saw this, didn't we, in midweek, and we just wonder if Mikel was managing Calafiori's minutes a little bit. Look,
I think so.
Yeah, just approaching the hour. And Zinchenko's on. Oh, I just thought he played all right when he came on against Sporting.
He did play all right, yeah. And look, we want to control the game. We want to keep the ball away from West Ham now. We want to sort of, you know, he's just feeling his groin there, was he? I don't know, Calafiori. Or I think he's okay. I don't think there's an injury. I think that is just a let's save him substitution.
So that's the switch. No goals added to the tally since the restart here. We've had 56 minutes, in fact, just shy of an hour. Antonio will lay it off. We'll talk about West Ham's goal threat. And Antonio's only got 1 in the Premier League this season. Did have a couple of years where he was double figures. Cancelo racing forward, stopped in his tracks. Saliba across and will clear, but he gives it away. And then Alvarez dallies on the ball and loses possession.
Good play from Odegaard, wasn't it? Just tracking back as he always does. But look, this is a period of pressure. West Ham are putting us under.
And Bissaka with a 1-2 with Bowen. He's got Antonio right-hand side, 3 inside the area, low balling, cleared away. Rice flicks forwards. Trossard on the chase. Todibo across.
Trossard's hurt himself as well. Hopefully it's just a kick from Todibo accidentally. Yeah, the ball's just running towards the touchline. Todibo slides in quite aggressively, actually. Oh, he just twists his ankle. Leandro Trossard there. That will hurt. Just wonder whether that might be enough to get Martinelli on the pitch. I don't think it's a nasty one, but a little twist like that will be painful.
Saka running at Emerson. Right-hand side, Bukayo Saka inside the penalty area. Still has it. Looks to find Declan Rice. Antonio is back defending, but Odegaard and Zinchenko between them win it back. Saka has it again. Zinchenko's popped up right wing. He's up against Emerson and won it on his left side. Plays it back towards Odegaard. Odegaard thought about the shot. Still going. Does take the shot on. And Fabianski seemed to see it late, but gets down nonetheless.
That's a good shot. He's just waiting, isn't he? He wants to curl it in the far corner. Goes past Antonio. It's a difficult one, but it's a decent shot on target that asks the question of the keeper. I want Martin Odegaard to shoot more. I think we all do.
Talked about that, didn't we, before?
I think we all do, because he's so unselfish. He's always looking to lay in somebody else. But he's got a great left foot, and I think he's capable of scoring many more goals.
Zinchenko for Arsenal, left-hand side. Now it's with Declan Rice, crossfield ball from left to right, hoping to hit Saka. Saka controls, moves forward inside the West Ham penalty area. On his left side, looks to try and get the shot away. He was a little off balance. Emerson did well, and it's a painful one for Saka as he stays on the turf. It's the right knee, is it? Not quite sure.
I hope it's okay. He always worried. He was stumbling, wasn't he, as he made the shot? Is it his right leg that he's hurt? It was a good run. He cuts inside, but he's off balance as he shoots. Does Emerson foul him there?
I don't think it's a contact between the two players. I think it's the sort of right leg gave way underneath him a little bit, maybe, and he was sort of halfway down.
Yeah. Yeah, he might have just jarred it a little bit. His standing leg. Hopefully he's all right. It seems like he wants to get up here. Maybe he feels there's a little bit of a twist. But any time Saka goes down, you're nervous, aren't you? It's one player that we really absolutely don't want to lose.
He's been brilliant, hasn't he?
Yeah,
tonight.
so
He's been absolutely sensational.
Yeah.
Just stretching out a little bit here with the chin and the knee and the calf. Maybe Mikel Arteta will make a change.
We've got Trossard that's kind of just sprained his ankle, and now Saka has done something. It seems like he's jarred his lower leg in some way. Let's see how he moves as he gets up on his feet. It's a limp, but not the heaviest of limps. Let's see.
So Saka coming off at the moment. Whether it'll stay off and be replaced, TBC. He wants to stay on. Conversation between himself and the physio at the minute. When we resume, it will be an Arsenal corner, and Declan Rice gets ready to take, getting a few catcalls from the West Ham fans near where the corner's about to be taken. Saliba and Havertz wait inside the 6-yard box. Kivior's looking to get half a yard. Timber likewise. Jorginho edge of the penalty area, swung in low. Paquetá's clearance is going to put the ball out for another corner.
Yeah, he was getting a bit of stick, wasn't he, Declan Rice, ahead of taking that corner, and he gets another crack at it. It wasn't the best.
So Rice to curl in again. Up goes the signal. Odegaard, Timberweight, edge of the area. Better delivery, punched away by Fabianski. Zinchenko lays it off. Odegaard knocks it down. Jorginho controls and then plays it for Timber on the right-hand side against Wan-Bissaka. His ball back for Zinchenko wasn't great, and Bowen looks to find Antonio, who slips, and Saliba is there to pick up the loose ball.
Yeah, it was 1v1 though, wasn't it? I mean, I'd always back Saliba against someone like Antonio in a 1v1, but we could have been caught out there. Yeah, it's one of those nights at the moment. It's got a bit niggly, and as Odegaard goes down, it's just one of those nights where we seem to be getting a lot of bumps and bruises, and that's the negative, isn't it?
Odegaard has gone down. Kilman was the challenge. This was another one that was after the ball had gone. Odegaard.
Yeah, it's not a good challenge.
Yeah,
he's gone right through on his ankle there, or his foot. It might have bruised his foot. They linger, those injuries. They're really annoying. There's a lot of that been from West Ham tonight in terms of going through on tackles that are unnecessary. We saw it on the far side with Trossard. It's going out of play, and the guys just steamed in and followed through and injured him. And I felt that's what Kilman did there. That, you know, they're obviously frustrated. They conceded 5 first-half goals, but ref's got to read the room here and just clamp down on it. I'm not seeing any yellows. I'm not seeing him really have a word with the West Ham players. It's a little bit too much from them at times.
Danny Ings is being ready to come on, incidentally, for West Ham, so we'll see what sort of swap West Ham are thinking of here. A couple of goals in his Southampton days against Arsenal. Good few years ago now. Bit part, really, in the end at Villa before moving to West Ham, and mainly used as a substitute last season and exclusively used as a substitute in the Premier League this term. But he's going to come on to foul as well, by the looks of things. Yeah. So a double switch for West Ham. Yeah, look, he is one of those players, though, Danny Ings, that could come off the bench and score. We've seen it a number of times. I remember he got a late equaliser, didn't he, against Fulham. Early run in the campaign. So foul, good servant, hasn't he been for West Ham United? A real top signing for them. Antonio makes way, so it'll be Ings and Bowen up top. Emerson out, so foul is coming on. I think that means Wan-Bissaka will come across to this left side. Yeah, Soufal is a right back. So not necessarily another switch of formation. We saw that, of course, at the start of the second half. But it's as you were. They have been a little more compact and harder to break through. Obviously, Arsenal haven't added to their 5 goals. But I don't think West Ham have offered an awful lot. Nope. Timber to break forwards. Carries the ball a long way. Now it's with Saka. Here is Jorginho. It's okay, Saka, isn't he? He looks fine. So's Martin. Might have a bruise on his foot, but yeah, he's moving fine. Saliba for David Raya. And now Kivior for Zinchenko. Clever touch. Rice over on the left-hand side, allowed to come a good 35 yards or so. Now it's with Havertz, central position. Saka calling for it on the right, up against Wan-Bissaka now, who's come to this left-hand side as AD described. Here is Martin Odegaard, edge of the West Ham penalty area, just behind Saka for once, not quite on the same wavelength, but Saka does manage to win the ball, keep the ball, and then another poor challenge, this time from Alvarez, was it? Play continues. Yeah, just over-aggressive, I think, at times. West Ham lunging in on us. You know, and I'm not one to moan too much about physicality, because I love to see it, but they've just gone over the line a little bit today, West Ham. Here is Paquetá. Now it's with Ings. He loses out, but the ball will break for Alvarez. As West Ham come forward again, over to this near side, and Wan-Bissaka always want to come in on his right, playing left back. Aims it back for Kilman. Now it's with Souček. Todibo. Opportunity for West Ham just to put some passes together inside Arsenal territory for the first time in quite some time. Arsenal have just stepped back a few yards. Soler. Alvarez, Wan-Bissaka, left-hand side into the final third. The 1-2 with Ings, with so far that doesn't come off. Well, it was Ings, wasn't it? Yeah, Timber did well, didn't he? Yeah, he did. He's very swift. Across 2 or 3 yards, Timber's quick, isn't he? And he's a good, intelligent reader of the game. He's one of those guys, you don't see many mistakes, do you, from Jurien Timber? He's a very accomplished defender. Very comfortable with the ball at his feet, as I've mentioned a few times recently. Right back is his position. Not that he can't play the others, but no, he's definitely. I think that definitely is his best spot. And obviously with Ben White out at the moment, he's got the chance to sort of have an extended run there. And I think he looks really good. Odegaard. Now it's with Havertz, Rice, left-hand side. Arsenal come forward. Zinchenko with a bit of space to work with into the final third. The Gunners come forward. Short for Declan Rice. Rice back towards Zinchenko. The Ukrainian takes a look up, nothing on. Controls, caresses, finds Jorginho, who plays it back for Zinchenko. Taps it forward for Declan Rice, who looks for the crossfield ball for Saka. It's up into the air, but controlled in an instant by Bukayo Saka on the right. Now it's with Odegaard, and Saka looks to go again. Can he get to the byline? Wan-Bissaka, his pace manages to get him back to make the block, and it's an Arsenal corner.
Yeah, he sticks out those long legs, doesn't he, Wan-Bissaka? And just when you think he got past him, he makes up ground. The pass from Odegaard was a touch heavy. It was a fraction too hard. But he got there, Saka, and he wins a corner. I wonder whether it's sort of Waneri time, I think. I don't mind seeing him for the final 20 minutes or so. Might just lift the team.
68 minutes on the clock in front of the travelling Arsenal support away to our right. Bukayo Saka's going to curl this corner in. Far post, good delivery. Fabianski comes and doesn't get anything, or if he did, it was an awkward touch because Arsenal have it again. West Ham did clear. Now it's with Odegaard, edge of the area, short for Zinchenko. Controls, looks for Saka inside the box, right-hand side, reverses it for Odegaard, who maybe wasn't quite expecting it there. And in fairness, West Ham have won it back, and Alvarez, with some neat skill, comes forward for Soler. Now the Mexican has it again. Plays it in field for Souček. And now Wan-Bissaka takes it on. West Ham a bit narrow, and they give the ball away.
Yeah. I mean, second half, they've changed the system. It hasn't really worked, has it? I mean, they've contained us a bit better. We've only had 3 shots second half, but they've just had the 2, none on target. The game has sort of petered out a little bit, hasn't it? That's why I think maybe some fresh legs, maybe a Waneri or a Martinelli might just enliven us between now and the final whistle and give us an extra spring in our step to get goal number 6, or dare I say it, 7.
Saka challenged by Wan-Bissaka. Ball goes out of play deep inside Arsenal territory on the right-hand side. Well, we'll be with you in midweek. Manchester United, of course, in town for Arsenal's 500th game at the Emirates Stadium. Really looking forward to that one. And then the Gunners with a trip to Fulham next weekend. Then Monaco at home, of course, in the Champions League. Match day 6 with 2 more still to come. Let's see what Arsenal can do here as Declan Rice breaks forward, plays it back towards Zinchenko, edge of the West Ham penalty area. Still Arsenal probe away, looking for that 6. Certainly in control of this fixture, if they weren't before. Jorginho. Here is Trossard. Ball ricochets off the shins of Carlos Soler, who controls at the second attempt and then looks to knock it long for Bowen. Kivior will nod it down. Ings will keep it in play, and the referee has decided to give Arsenal a throw.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Of those 500 games at Emirates, how many have you been at, do you reckon?
That's a very good question, and I would say not all of them, but nearly all.
Into the 490s?
Yeah.
Hey, not bad going, that.
And it's not bad going at all, is it? I used to have a life, not anymore. It's been an absolute pleasure, I'll tell you that much. Every single one of them. Some better performances than others. Some standout evenings, certainly. And I think recently they've been absolutely fantastic. We've had some great matches. And the atmosphere at the Emirates the last 2 years, 3 years has been exceptional.
Yeah.
It really has. Yeah. Credit to all the supporters who turn up week in, week out.
Yeah.
Let's see what Timber can do here across town. Gets inside the area. Cross takes a deflection, bounces away from Havertz, nearly falls for the German.
That's brilliant from Timber. First of all, Jorginho waits, slips in Odegaard between the lines. Lovely pass, and then Odegaard slides Timber in on the overlap, and it's a great run, and he didn't do anything wrong. It was just a little deflection on the cross that took it towards Fabianski and away from Kai Havertz. But yeah, I'm getting more and more sort of glimpses of what Timber's capable of at right back, and I definitely like what I see.
Here is Souček for Wan-Bissaka. comes forward on the left-hand side. Aaron Wan-Bissaka does well to find Soler. Now it's with Kilman, and eventually Alvarez curls it over to the right-hand side. It might fall for Ings, who will take it down. Well, it would have been difficult, but he needed to take that first time. It's gone out for a corner.
Yeah, it was a far post cross. Nice little knockdown from Sofal. Touch is good, and Kivior just gets there. He just gets something on the ball. Not a foul, but he deflects the ball out for a corner.
So here comes Arsenal's first change, and in fact second change. Double switch. Martin Odegaard is coming off. Been another stellar performance from the captain, who's got his first goal of the season here in East London tonight as well. First change we're going to see is Gabriel Jesus coming on, and the second alteration is going to be like for like, as Saka's going to come off and Sterling's going to come on. Now, what happens with Jesus, do we think?
Let's see. Well, Sterling is going to play on this right side, isn't he, for Saka? Maybe Havertz comes into the Odegaard role, a little bit deeper. Jesus up front. Makes sense, really. There's no reason why Havertz can't play that role, by the way. He obviously doesn't have the sprightliness or the mobility of an Odegaard. I mean, he has the mobility, but it's a different style of player, isn't he? But he's a good passer. Likes to play in between the lines, Havertz. So, yeah, let's see. Personally, I'd like to give Havertz a rest and get one area on into that position. Maybe that'd be the next change.
David Raya plays a ball along the deck that finds Havertz. First time from Zinchenko. Jesus turns cleverly, and Sterling, is he offside? He's received it. The flag has stayed down. He looked suspiciously offside, but I think we're into the next phase now. So
yep.
Arsenal have it.
Yeah, play on.
Jesus, right-hand side, looks to tap it back, but thought that Sterling was a little closer to the penalty area, and West Ham will win it back and come racing forward. Bowen on the right-hand side. Kivior is across. Jarrod Bowen has possession against the Polish centre-half, who sticks to his task well. Good play from Kivior.
Good defending.
Well, West Ham have got a free kick here. I'm not quite sure how.
Come on. It's not a foul. It's a sloppy pass from Jesus in the first place that causes it. And then it's just a duel. I suppose he's got hold of his shirt. That's what I will say. Maybe that's what the referee sees. But for me, it wasn't enough for a free kick. It was just good, determined defending. But Jesus got to look after the ball more carefully than that. It's on him, really, that attack happened.
Free kick, West Ham, right-hand side. It's about 8 yards away from the byline, about 5 in from the touchline. Carlos Soler standing over this one. Emerson's not going to take this one. It's not shooting angle. But Carlos Soler is going to send this one spinning inside the penalty area, or maybe out to the edge of the box where Bowen waits. Curled in, the header to the 6-yard box, and then Souček looks to try and get something on it. Doesn't get the power. It's a shot on target, I guess, but it's very easy for Raya. And the counter is on through Jesus, although it's just slowed up a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't really a shot, was it? But yeah, look, they carry a threat when they put the ball in the box, don't they, West Ham? Because they've got really strong players in the air.
Here is Rice against Todibo. Arsenal throw.
Yeah, that's why it frustrates me when these fouls are given against Arsenal inside their own sort of defensive third, because, you know, putting a free ball into the box is absolutely the most likely way for West Ham to score.
Going to see a change here for West Ham. Going to see a double switch. Paquetá, who I think's done all right to a certain extent, but obviously a lot is expected of him. He is going off. Who else is coming off here? Carlos Soler, who I expected a little bit more from.
Yeah, he
must admit.
Yeah, he played well the other day, but not brilliant tonight. That's for sure.
So changes made here.
Yeah, Andy Irving's a really interesting player.
Yeah, Irving is on.
He's played in Scotland, you know. He's played overseas, and then in Scottish football as well. He's not a player I was really familiar with, I have to say.
No.
He's not a youngster.
No, he's played in Austria and also in Germany at lower league level.
That's what I mean. He's gone through the lower leagues in Scotland and overseas, and he's ended up at West Ham United. It's a very unusual signing.
Yeah, former Scottish under-21 international, but he's not played for the full national side.
He's a neat and tidy passer, though. I've seen him a couple of times, and he's a good footballer.
Another player to come on, incidentally, is Guillaume Rodriguez for West Ham. See what he can do. This is Wan-Bissaka breaking forward, does get the shot away, it's blocked, and then the shot fired in, that's blocked again, and then David Raya